Hey, it's MK, and I am here with another Woodgrain and Winter layout with you guys. I am also incorporating Day 3's SAR Advent Calendar goodies for you guys. And today, for the Advent Calendar, we have this cute little set of daisies. And later on, I do remember that there were some stickers that came with this. But I was just so excited about all of these adorable little daisies. Daisies happen to be my favorite flower just because of how resilient they are and how long lasting they really are. I'm going to use a couple of my acrylic pens. My colorful ones are the Tule Art paint pens, and then I happen to have my Posca white pen out. Normally I use the Tule Art white pen, but the Posca one was sitting on my desk and available, so that's the one I grabbed. I'm also going to be using the Evergreen Season die cuts from 49 and Market. I didn't even know I had this. I thought that it was a couple years ago's. I know, that's terrible. I thought it was a simple vintage collection, but now I can't remember the name of it. These are the stickers that also came with the wonderful daisies, and I completely forgot about them because they were stuck in my ephemera. I'm going to be using this puffy sticker set, but now I can't remember why. So I'm looking at it, trying to decide why did I choose these, and then it clicks and I remember. I know I'm going to spell out a word with these awesome puffy stickers. Those ones are actually called Rudolph. And then the other one were a Vicky Boutin one set from a few years back. For my wood grain, I'm actually using a wood grain from my paper pack called Adventures Log. It is restocked in the shop if you guys are interested. It will be the last time that it is in the shop. From the Vintage Artistry Noel collection, again by 49 and Market, I'm going to use one of the stripes, but I'm not going to use the stripes, you guys. I'm sad, but it works really well. And then from the Art and Creative Seasons of Joy, I pulled out this chalkboard black look, and I think I'm going to use the lighter black as opposed to the darker one. So I decided that I was going to zoom in real quick and share with you guys how I paint with my paint pens. I have to say that when you first paint with your pens, they flow beautifully and everything. And then, of course, the tips dry out. You can take the tip out, go and wash them under hot water, and then they will flow beautifully again. But for this one, I was super impatient and did not want to go do that. So what I do is I put a puddle on my glass mat, and I just use it as if it was a paint brush. I grab some paint up with my nib in the paint puddle, and it works beautifully. The one thing you don't want to do is scratch your surface, like push in so deep that you're scratching your surface, because then it will not take the paint. So just be patient and careful, or stop being stubborn and go wash your nib out, so that way you can have beautifully flowing paint. And so this one here, I did the same thing. I got it to flow and beautiful, but again, off on the side, I do have my puddle going on just in case the flow is not there. So the red one actually flowed a lot better than the green one did. And then I use the white and yellow for the centers, but I don't end up recording it because I ended up getting interrupted. So I do apologize about that, but I am making my daisies look as if they are candy canes, because the flowers, my Christmas flowers for this year, and this is the wonderful thing about the flowers that my husband actually end up finding for me, is they last 2 to 3 weeks, you guys. I don't know where he buys flowers, honestly, but they last forever. I think the only thing that doesn't usually last in the bouquet when he buys like a bouquet of mixed flowers are the roses. That's the only thing that does not last, but everything else stays beautiful and strong for weeks, you guys. Weeks, not days, weeks. And so I absolutely love it and cherish wherever he finds those flowers, and I just love my flowers. So I took a picture with the flowers as soon as he walked in the door. I didn't even wait till they were in the vase. in all honesty. So this is how they come packed. This one happens to have a cute little candy cane stick stuck in the middle of them. So super cute. I don't think these flowers are daisies, but in the end, I thought my daisies would look really cute on this particular layout with these flowers. And it's kind of cool because these flowers specifically look like they are frosted. I don't know what was applied on top of them, but it is a super cool effect. And when I took them out of their packaging and put them in the vase so they could free flowly, they looked even better. It was amazing, you guys. I really like these flowers. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tear off my poinsettia up at the top. I just felt like it was a bit too much, and I'm going to add my my wood grain up there. I also really didn't want to use that much stripes. I want my stripes, you guys. But I'm going to do the same thing with the wood grain. Again, I don't want to waste my wood grain. And you guys know me, every teeny tiny little bit of wood grain can be used on a layout. Same with every teeny tiny little bit of stripe. It can be used on a layout. There are only some papers that I do that with, you guys. I don't do it with every single one of my papers. I only save the papers that I feel like I can use repetitively. I'm sorry. That I feel like I can use repetitively in teeny tiny little areas. And stripes and wood grains are definitely one of those, especially when I have a series coming up here in January that is called Baby Got Scraps. And it is all about using up my scraps and getting the scraps on a layout. And usually I create page kits with my scraps, and then I decide the photos later, and it usually ends up working out really well. But I don't think I did it last year, or I should say this year, because this year isn't over yet. Stop trying to rush the year. But I don't think I did it last year. I think something else came up to where I didn't do that series. I don't know. I'd have to think on that. But it is a fun super series, and like I said, wood grain and stripes are always something good to hang on to, because they're excellent for even just the smallest little piece. They just add so much to the layouts. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cover up most of this poinsettia, use it as a base piece for where my photos are going to start, my clusters are going to start, all that good stuff. And then instead of mixed media, I'm going to add these little stickers as soon as I figure out how to take them off their carrier sheet, and get these guys down on my layout. And they add so much to this layout. It is absolutely fabulous. Now, I know that there is a little bit of blue going on in this in the sticker, but not in the layout. And later on, it actually just flows. It doesn't even look like it was, I don't know, it looks like it belongs. And I think it's because I use it in 3 different spots. And so then it's, now it's welcomed because there's more than just the one. So I am going to take this one here and divide it in between the seams. So I'm going to tuck some down below and then some up above. So that way I don't have that bulge underneath the sticker. That was the only reason why I did that. There was no other special effect I was going for. I just didn't want that bulge of the sticker. And then that way I can have it going into the wood grain as well as coming down into my poinsettia. So that's all the stickers that I will be using. And then I'm going to go ahead and work on my title because of the fact that I want to make sure I have room for it. One of the things that I have found out when I use a title where I have to spell something out, I think I leave enough space, but then I don't end up leaving enough space. And then I have to either adjust the title or make it look like it belonged in the area that, I intended it for. And sometimes it overflows into the picture and things like that. So for this one, I do want it to overflow into the picture. So I'm going to spell the word bouquet because, again, I tried to do daisies. Like I really wanted to spell the word Christmas daisies. And I thought about it and I was like, No, I don't really want to. For one, I'm pretty sure these aren't daisies. And for two, I couldn't find the word Christmas. I must have used all of my pre-made sticker word Christmases up, my big ones for titles and things. So I found the word Mary, and I thought, oh, Mary Bouquet would be a super cute little design here. So I have to fix a couple of my flowers because my yellow was not quite dry just yet, and I stuck my ruler right on top of them, and it made a mess. The cool part about these acrylic paints is that they layer very well, so I'm able to just go through and fix where my yellow went into my red, and it was perfect. So I went ahead and fixed those up really, really quickly, got them all dried, and now I am ready to put my layout together. I do have to clean up my paint mess. I just don't like how it looks, you guys, so that's the only reason why I want to clean it up. I've got my title going on, and then the rest of the layout will be built together with, or put together with these die cuts. And I do go through, I don't like when I do this, but it is my process. I do go through every little bit of these ephemera, and then I add it to the layout as I go. And it makes for a very long video. It really, really does. And so I try to cut it out to where I'm just flipping through the items. You guys don't need me to sit there and stare at all of these items. So I definitely fast forward a lot of where I'm going through certain elements and whatnot. And then when I am putting something down, I try to bring that content back in so you guys can see where this piece came from, where that piece came from, and how it ended up on my layout. Here I'm just trying to decide out of those stripes which ones I want to add to the layout, and I decided on the darker green. So, and then of course the little journaling spot, just so I can comment about my husband's bouquet choices. He's very good at it. I just love it. I really do. And the fact that they last forever is phenomenal. I don't know how he does it. Yeah, it's great. So I did find two little tickets there. One says Holly Jolly and the one says Best Gift, because yes, it is. I love my flowers and whatnot. And then of course the little tag up at the top says love this. And then I ripped off the journaling spot so I could flip it upside down and have the journaling spot in another spot. And then that way I kind of get a twofer, especially when I like to tuck things and layer things up. I am also using my fingernail to distress some of the edges because other than the daisies, this is a pretty flat layout. So I wanted to add a little bit of dimension. And now I'm just going to go through and tuck my daisies underneath some of the embellishments and stack them on top of each other. The best part about this wood is it's only a 1/16 of an inch thick. And so when I layer it, it's not that thick as the layering can be. So in fact, it is just the dimension of my dimensionals that I use, and so it's absolutely perfect. So it was going to be that thick if I used a dimensional anyways. So it's really super cool. I'm going to go ahead and tuck in my leaves and things inside this upper cluster I've got going on and around my little journaling spot. Again, I don't really have a whole lot to say, so I'm not too worried about how much there is. And then I wanted some of my flowers over here, and I really want it on the side of the word bouquet, but I don't know how to incorporate it without it looking bulky, I guess, because here is just this one teeny tiny little word, or letter, I should say, and I'm trying to create a cluster next to it. And so I finally figure out how to get that to work in my favor. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue everything down and get it all situated and set up the way that it needs to be once I finally figure out where my placement is going to go. So there we go. I did have to use foam dots underneath the B for the bouquet just so it would sit properly, but everything else is glued straight down to the page. I don't think that it sticks out too much, the B does, but I do feel like it helps a lot hold it stable, just because of the fact that you know, it is sitting on top of one of the wood veneers. All right, you guys, so that is my layout for today. I had a blast coloring my wood veneer. I love coloring my wood veneer and bringing life to it, but I also love embellishing it to the point where it's personalized and it matches my pages beautifully. Okay, don't forget to check out Janet Fritz's channel to see what she is doing today for Woodgrain and Winter, and see if she incorporates her advent calendar daisies as well. I'm very super curious to see what she comes up with those. Don't forget also too that I am doing a giveaway for a glass mat, one of the brand new scrapbooking glass mats by Glassboard Studio. So don't forget to check out my video on that to see how to enter into that drawing. And yeah, again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. And I will check you guys all later. Bye.